Anyway, so yesterday, or today, I was attacked all day. Oh no, yesterday, yeah. Over trying to help people raise money to feed people. And I've seen the videos myself of whites being turned away from receiving food. And it's pretty despicable. And so, of course, I put this up trying to raise money to literally to feed people, because I speak to a lot of people in the community, most especially people going out and trying to get food to people that otherwise probably wouldn't eat. And I get pictures of the food they're able to buy, of the children, the people. So I know what's going on. Whites are trying to care for their own. They're trying to feed the people in their community all over. And, I'm told some people, they're only eating, every other day, maybe. And, I was attacked all day yesterday, and some lady calling me a liar. And then this morning, I see these pictures of these emaciated kids, and I'm just furious. These people doing this, and they're white people, and I'm not stupid. I know that they're paid agitators or whatever. I'm not saying every single one of them, but a lot of them are, paid to put out disinformation and lies and defend the ANC. And really, I know it sounds crazy, but it's not so far-fetched. They've done this many times. Why wouldn't they do it again? Everything what they did with the Boer Mag, Bell Pottinger, and the Guptas. I mean, the same exact thing is happening now. The same exact thing. Hey, Lance Sheriff. Yeah, they want me gone. So Lance Sheriff says, the communists in and outside of South Africa want you gone. Thank you. I know. And it's just, they attack me with such bullshit, like creating a fake email to make it seem like it's me. As I said again, my email for YouTube that I give people is conservativetexaswoman@gmail. So now there's been conservativetexaswoman@protonmail created, and I received a message today because someone sent out an email as if it were me, and even put my name at the bottom of the email. It's just stupid things like this. What's the point of doing things like that unless it's to try to get people pissed off at me, which is basically what it was. Thank you, Lance. I really appreciate that. But, so, I changed over my website to a WordPress site, and I haven't completely got everything down, guys. I haven't figured everything out, but so I'm stressing about that because I need to pay for that for a whole year in order to get the SSL for the site to be secure. So as of now, it's not secure, but if people want to go to it and make donations, it takes you off the site to a secure site. So the donations are not taken on the site. It's an outside link to PayPal, but you don't have to have a PayPal. You can use a credit card or whatever and not have a PayPal account. I also put some other information in the comments in case anybody wants to help. I have so many things right now on my plate, and I'm so overwhelmed by a lot of this, trying to help people make sure that people are getting food. I mean, this is a basic necessity people need to survive, and it really makes me sick to my stomach and makes me furious that even the people that follow me on social media, the people that claim to care for white well-being and people of their ancestry. All they want to do is sit around and talk about who's to blame for the problems. They want to, talk about who's benefiting from all of this. I don't give a shit about who's responsible, about who's to blame. None of that solves anything right now. So what solves problems right now is making sure that people have food, clean water, diapers, baby formula, making sure that children do not go to bed hungry. This is what I care about, okay? In this moment, I don't give a shit about who got South Africa in this situation at this moment in time. There will be a time for this, and it's not now. What we need to worry about now is getting the information out there and making sure that people can survive this. And like I said, I have so many things on my plate. We already have all the paperwork. We're trying to register a government nonprofit so that we can do things more effectively, and I believe that this is so necessary for us to get this going. But of course, like everything else, it costs money. I think the total cost for us to file and get it registered is about $300. So I'm trying to do that and trying to get people to donate to feed people. Trying to do my website. It's just a mess right now. And being attacked in the process every single step of the way. Anything good that you try to do, even feeding people, is bad. I mean, some of these people are so evil. I really hope they enjoy hot weather, because they're going to burn for what they're doing. Thank you, Raul. I greatly appreciate you, my fellow Texan. Everyone knows I'm a very proud Texan, and we are special people in Texas, and I'm not above saying that. People here are very kind, people of all races. It's a different dynamic in a place like this. For the most part, outside of the cities, we all have the same morals and value systems. And, if I saw an old lady on the side of the road and she needed help, I don't care what color she is, I'm going to stop and help her, But I also don't have to worry about being murdered for doing that. So Texas especially is a special place. People are kind here for the most part. They will give you the shirt off their backs. They will break their back to do for others before they do for themselves. The people I know. And they will break their backs to keep their word. Yeah, Dan, so I'm going to move forward. It doesn't matter what they do. It just really upsets me when I know I have a huge following of people who can make a difference, and they're not doing it. They're not doing it. Because everything helps, and everyone can make a contribution. And I know times are tough for everyone. But I can promise you that none of the problems that we face as Americans are important enough to ignore people literally starving, being denied government aid when others are receiving aid, the Solidarity Fund that was created for small businesses, and people like Johann Rupert donated R1 billion to this, the Oppenheimers, and many others. I read a couple of news articles. This money was to go to all small businesses. It's not. It's going to BBEE businesses only. So no white business will receive any relief from the Solidarity Fund that was meant for everyone. And, that's either, so if the people donated knowing it would go to only blacks, which I don't believe that to be true, they are son of a bitches and they need to be exposed. If they didn't know when they donated, the ANC accepted money on false pretenses and they need to be exposed. Right, they don't want to feed you, but they don't want to give you an opportunity to feed yourself. One of my friends earlier said, and he's a Marine veteran, I'm telling him, he's asking, how things are going. I'm telling him I'm kind of a mess today, I'm upset, this is what I'm seeing. And he said, so you mean to tell me that whites are being turned away from receiving the food that they grow and provide to Africa? And I said, yes, they are. It makes no sense. Hi, Jessica. Hi, everyone. Hi, Grim. Peyton Jade said it's becoming a police state right now, so martial law is what we should just call it. Hi, Chris. Anytime. Anyway, I'm on Gab, and when I speak about, having a large following of people who claim to be concerned about these issues, that's one place where I do have a large following, a large group, and it just disappoints me so much that people can just see that and they just want to talk about it, not do anything about it. It actually breaks my heart, man. I wish you would send troops too. I'm just not very happy with him at the moment. And I've said this before, the day that he tweeted about this issue, he was my hero. And I'm no Trump worshiper. When he does good, I appreciate it, and I say it's good. But, there are things that I don't like that I won't speak on because it will do no good. But the day that he brought this issue to the attention of the world, he was my hero. And I'm very disappointed that more is not being done to give some relief. I mean, this is a hard time for everyone in the world. All of our economies are suffering, but no other country is denying people relief based on the color of their skin. No country except South Africa. Right, and so Peyton Jade said our farmers have donated millions in food stock, yet they are excluded from the Farmers Relief Fund. I actually just read that. Also, Ramaphosa thanked the farm workers, not the farmers, for their contribution. He's such a bastard. Lance, in the comments, are all of my information where you can donate. Also, there's a link to my website there. And on the homepage of my website, there is a donation link. You don't have, it says PayPal, but you don't have to have PayPal. If you click on it, it gives you an option to pay without having to have a PayPal account. If you don't want to use that, I put Cash App, even my crypto, my Bitcoin wallet in the description. And if that doesn't work for you, email me and we will find a way, because we have to get this information out there, number one, in order for more people to help and more people to know what is happening. And number two, we have to feed these people. We have to fight back against the government, basically trying to starve people out. And we have a responsibility to provide for them if we can. Even if it's $5, we have a responsibility to provide food for our people who are unable to provide for themselves, not because they're unwilling, but because they live in a place where they're literally just hammered with laws and everything you can think of to keep them from feeding their families. Right, so Panda says we just want equal ground. And in Namibia as well, whites are excluded there. Oh, great. Yeah, if this were blacks being, if blacks were being excluded from receiving food, people would be charged with crimes against humanity. Okay? Period. The UN would be involved. The United States would be involved. It would be on every news station in the world. And someone would probably hang. Johan is paying off. Oh, I tweeted to Mr. Johan Rupert the other day, and I asked him, Mr. Rupert, sir, are you aware that the money that you donated to the Solidarity Fund, that whites are excluded from this? I tweeted to him several times. Right, if it were any other people, any other race of people, it would be it would be a huge deal. Right, I make enough to support myself, but not to immigrate as an investor, right? Because it costs $900,000 to immigrate here. There used to be a program where you could immigrate for $500,000 to different areas. That changed, I believe, in November. So it's $900,000 to immigrate legally that you have to invest in the United States. For you guys, that is an astronomical amount of money. I mean, who has that kind of money? Johann Rupert and the Oppenheimers? I hope they do wipe out the son of a bitches. And that's another thing I want to know. Why the hell are 73,000 troops deployed for civilians? That many troops were not even used during the war. And why is the new general MK? That is so disturbing to me. So disturbing. Right, so Panda makes a good point. The private security sector could also wipe out the military. I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying that it is possible. they do outnumber them. No Beyond says it's such a mystery that the United States isn't helping white South Africans. So I do see little things happening, and you guys know I've been involved in some legal filings and a lot, but the wheels turn slow, and I do see small things happening, but it's not enough. And you have to understand, I wanted refugee status, right? But the United States cannot grant refugee status to only white South Africans. They would have to grant refugee status to all South Africans. So what would happen then? The United States would turn into South Africa. So part of what I want to do with us registering a government nonprofit is be able to lobby the government to change the asylum laws. So as of right now, it's very hard to gain asylum, which it should be. But right now, in order to qualify, meet the requirements for asylum and be granted asylum, you have to prove as an individual that your life is in direct danger, threat of death. You have to have evidence, you have a hearing, you have to prove it. And we want to lobby the government to change this, where under special circumstances, people can apply for asylum as a group, and that would solve the problem of not being able to grant refugee status to only one ethnic group. But when you're facing a situation like white South Africans, they could still, be granted asylum based on that their lives are in direct threat of death by their own government. Well, it would be nice if Europe would take them. I've seen a letter from the UK to someone whose family, came from there, and he was requesting to go based on the fact that his family is from there, and they wrote him back and told him, no, South Africa's safe. There's no problem. America does have problems, but none of our problems are so great. I can't think of a problem great enough to literally ignore people being wiped off the face of the earth, starved, tortured. Just the atrocities committed are beyond imagination, and there is nothing in my country so important that we should ignore that ever. I'm hoping that is not the reason for the deployment. And I really think that there's a large spotlight on the ANC right now, and I believe that many governments around the world have their eyes on them, and if they made a move like that, I think it would be their greatest mistake. Grim, I know. And should the worst come, I am actually not afraid. I'm actually very confident, because I don't think they will be prepared for what they're going to get. Canada will not take them. Justin Trudeau is not going to take them. People have tried to get the Canadian government to let them in, and they won't. South African white male living in China. Had to flee here because I'm simply too scared to raise my baby daughter. I wish that I could have a place in America. I wish you could too. Outnumbered 20-1. Europe already has a huge immigration problem. Remember, guys, the UK, well, I won't say it, but you know what Sina Van Rensburg says, and I'm sorry, but I believe every word of it. And I know the numbers are great, but if you've ever been around any military men who are, I think, with a military mind or special forces or anything like that, you will know that it only takes a few highly skilled, highly trained men to decimate a great number of inadequate, poorly trained, just clowns who call themselves soldiers. Take and migrate, we will figure it out. I don't know if Trudeau's going to agree with that. Trudeau's MK? Yeah, I agree. Good night. Cross the border here. I could never live in Canada. You can't have your guns, and that would not work for me. Hey, Ari. ANC media control is so huge. I've noticed this since I'm working. No one really knows what's going on in South Africa. Right. The reason I know is because I talk to so many people every day. This is how I know. Because they send me the pictures, the videos, the proof. The media won't report it. I know, and people think you're crazy or you're exaggerating. I'm absolutely not exaggerating. I've seen it with my own eyes. Right. Grim, I totally agree with you. I don't believe that America is going to allow your people to come under a full attack and just ignore it. I mean, guys, I read the other day that South Africa, everything going on there is one of the top 5 hot button issues in the world. There are too many people paying attention. There are too many people watching. And if that were to happen, there would be so much outrage. You know, we told you, we tried to tell you, and you did nothing. They would not get away with ignoring it. Canada only takes in terrorists from the Middle East. Right, and so does the UK and France and America. The world does need to know. A bunch of clowns. I've seen, they don't even hold their rifles properly. My daughter is 8 years old, and she holds her rifle better than the entire South African army. She could probably take out a good number of them as well, and she's 8. I know you won't run. I know. And, you know, I've always said that I believe people should stay on the defense only. I'm at a point where, you know, people can only be pushed so far over the side of a cliff before they go over that cliff or their instinct kicks in and they start to push back. I'm hoping that more people will wake up and start to push back, because nothing changes if nothing changes. Yeah, half the South African army is HIV positive anyway. I wish we could do that, Linda. I speak to people that are not white, and I tell them, like, all of these issues need people of color, people who are not white, also speaking out about everything. But they're afraid. They won't. You can hear the clock. I'm sorry. Someone told me one time it was driving them crazy. Good morning, Wayne. So, I'll just say, guys, again, since there are more people here now, I'm so upset because, I was attacked all day yesterday for, putting photos and information out, trying to help raise money to feed people, because people are literally starving. There are certain areas where people are only eating every other day. And I was attacked. I was called a liar and everything else. And I've seen the videos of whites being turned away from receiving food. I've seen it with my own eyes, I've seen the pictures of emaciated children who are not eating properly in squatter camps. And, I have large followings on every platform of people concerned about these issues, or who say they are. Yet, all they do is they want to talk about who's to blame, who did this, who got South Africa in this situation. And I said this earlier, but I'm going to say it again. I don't give a shit right now. What I care about is feeding people. That is a basic necessity that people need to survive. That's what I care about. That the people from my ancestry that are being starved out, that they eat, that they have diapers, that they have baby formula, or that the children eat. That is what I care about right now in this moment in time. And the people that are sitting back and just talking about it and doing nothing should be ashamed. If you say this is important to you, prove it. Help. Because a few of us cannot do everything ourselves. And, I have a lot on my plate and I'm trying to manage it all. And it's really hard for me to sit and watch people suffering and watch a few men and women be spread so thin, trying to take food to people, trying to buy it, using money out of their own pockets a lot of times, and the farmers giving food when they are not benefiting at all from the funds that are supposed to be allotted to all farmers. And I just feel like everyone can do better. Everyone can do better. I don't even want to talk about Lena Marks. I know, Linda. I do know this. It's only a matter of time. It's like a ticking time bomb, and everything is like on a knife's edge, and I don't sleep a lot because I worry. And I just wish that something would give. So, you guys, if you look in the comments, my website is ancsanctionedgenocide.com. It's not in the comments, it's in the description. If you go to my site, on the home page, you can donate. It says PayPal, but you don't have to have PayPal. You can just donate with a credit card. Also, I have put alternative ways, if you use cryptocurrency, in the description of this video. If none of those things work for you, email me at conservativetexaswoman@gmail.com, and we'll find an alternative. But we have to get food to these people. And I remind you that our money, American money, goes so much further there. You know, $100 there is, I mean, think of that like 21 times. I mean, food is expensive there, but American money goes so much further than you can imagine. So I'm going to end this here, guys. I've got some things that I have to do before I try to get some sleep, but everything is in the description of the video. So I urge you to share it with other people that you know. If you go to my website and look, there is an entire page where you can see and read some of the things that are being done, you know, to provide food. Just go to my website and check it out. It's a new WordPress site, and I haven't completely figured out WordPress. I'm having to start all over. So just bear with me, but I am getting more and more information up. The victim page, there's a lot of the crime scene photos and things up. The True Hate page, that is a page where it shows all of the hate online directed at this community. There's a lot of good videos up. The page where it talks about people providing food. I also am dedicating a page on my website to Adriana Stewart, who passed away from Censor Bugbear Reports and Adriana Stewart Reports. Sorry, I get emotional. So I consider this lady my friend and my hero, and she single-handedly has done more to expose what's happening to the white minority in South Africa than any other human being. So anyway, I downloaded her sites so that all of the data and the information would never be lost. And I dedicated a page on my website to her. And I remember a conversation I had with her about a year ago. And I was trying to talk her into coming on my YouTube channel. And she told me that she was just too old and that she was tired. She just wasn't up for it anymore. And I told her that I will see the ANC fall in my lifetime. That I'll never stop until I see them fall. And I remember her response was, I hope you do, because I've dedicated my entire adult life to that. And it doesn't look like I'm going to see it in my lifetime. And I didn't really think about it at that time. But now, you know, it's really sad. So, Grim, you and I agree on a lot. If you want to chat, email me at conservativetexaswoman@gmail.com. gmail.com. I'm not going to say anything on video about anyone or any channel, but email me and I will share some things with you. Yes, Linda, we do. I happen to know one. His name is Dr. Gregory Stanton of Genocide Watch. And he's great friends with our new Deputy Secretary of State, Robert Destro. And I'm hoping to be able to speak further with him on some things, but he's been in Syria and out of the country. But I plan on doing my best to get his help. Yeah, I know, Q. Yeah, it has been a long road. I can tell you some things. But I'm gonna go here, guys, because I'm just kind of a mess today. I'm just upset about everything and just the lack of humanity and caring when you see these things happening. I don't know. It affects me greatly. But I thank everyone for coming in so much and listening. And like I said, please share everything if you know someone who will help, so that we can get these people some relief. And everything's in the description. If there's something that's not there and you have a question, email me. Come straight to my phone and I will answer. conservativetexaswoman@gmail.com. So thank you guys very much. Good night, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks, Grim. Bye, guys. Talk to you soon.